Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will serve as an outside attorney for the village of Dolton. Village trustees appointed her to investigate Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Henyard is facing allegations of corruption, reckless spending, and retaliation. NBC5's Regina Waldrop was at tonight's village board meeting.
Working as a special investigator for the village of Dolton, that's now the position of Lori Lightfoot.
People in this village want something different, want to go in a different direction.
Residents packed into a special meeting where 4 Dolton trustees voted to appoint the former Chicago mayor and federal prosecutor to conduct an independent investigation of Mayor Tiffany Henyard and her administration. Henyard is accused of corruption and misusing village funds.
The residents of Dolton deserve nothing less than a government that is fully accountable, responsive, transparent, and effective stewards of your precious tax dollars.
Lightfoot will also investigate a taxpayer-funded economic development trip to Las Vegas last May. On that trip, Mayor Henyard and a handful of village reps, including 2 trustees and her former assistant. The woman claims she was sexually assaulted by an unnamed trustee in Vegas and later fired. The state's Department of Human Rights has launched an investigation.
We discovered that there is a lawsuit that was actually filed today, and we want to get a gauge of what's the village's involvement, what's our liability.
Mayor Henyard did not attend Monday night's meeting. Residents say they hope Lightfoot can get some answers and action.
I think it's a great move. I think she can be an asset to this community and revealing the truth about what's really going on.
With her answering the questions and the trustees giving us what we needed to hear, I think it's a plus. We can't go wrong.
Lori Lightfoot's first day on the job is Tuesday. She'll be paid $400 an hour plus expenses. A report on the investigation is expected in 60 days. In Dolton, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
I'm making a motion to amend items B, 5B, and 5C to appoint Lori E. Lightfoot as special investigator to the village of Dolton at a rate of $400 per hour to investigate the following matters. 1, the May 2023 Las Vegas trip, including all expenditures, all allegations of misconduct, and all internal investigations, if any, along with any village, state, and federal law violations. 2, the spending of ARPA funding without going out for bid and or failing to properly spend ARPA funds. 3, failure to provide a full accounting of all ARPA funds spent. 4, hiring contractors without going to bid or requesting the RFP. 5, hiring the contractors without the approval of the corporate authorities. 6, making payments to vendors without the approval of the corporate authorities. And 7, paying the village prosecutor Delgado Law Group over $900,000 over the last 2.5 years. So we're going to do a motion, and I'll make that motion. I'll ask for a second. We will go into discussion thereafter to further expand. So I made the motion. Is there a second? Okay. Hearing a motion and second, first I will ask Attorney Olson to further dive into the resolution.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. On the original agenda are 2 resolutions hiring Ms. Lightfoot as additional legislative counsel. I received a letter today from the Delgado Law Group threatening me and this board that if we proceeded along this route, there would be litigation and grave consequences, and advising that any actions we do here are in violation of the Open Meetings Act and against the law. I remind you, this is the same Delgado Law Group who we've just received the invoices from the last 2.5 years, including March, will be over $950,000. So rather than fight another lawsuit and spend more money on more lawyers, we amended the motion tonight. The resolutions were to appoint Ms. Lightfoot. That's what the motion is. And rather than appoint her as legislative counsel, which is our title, directly as a special investigator is more than appropriate. Again, we're looking to get down to the facts as to what's going on in the village and how the money's been spent or not spent. So rather than fight over this in court. We amended the motion. People are here tonight because they know on the agenda is the proposed hiring of a very learned former federal prosecutor to help the trustees sort out what's going on in the village over the last 2 years as far as misappropriation and misspending. That's why we amended the motion, the agenda as it's stated, to try to avoid yet another lawsuit.
Thank you, Bert, and thank you, Board. At this time, it's my privilege to introduce Lori E. Lightfoot, who most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with, who she is. But what you might not be familiar with is her background professionally, so I'd like to just breeze through it, and then Ms. Lightfoot's going to step up and make a brief comment. Ms. Lightfoot graduated from the University of Michigan in 1984 with a bachelor's degree in political science. She's also a graduate from the University of Chicago in 1989 with a Juris Doctor degree, which is necessary to get your law degree. She then worked as an assistant U.S. attorney in the criminal division for the Northern District of Illinois from 1996 to 2002, where she prosecuted a whole slew of different types of criminal cases, but notably she prosecuted cases that involved public corruption. She then worked was appointed the chief administrator for the Chicago Police Department Office of Professional Standards in that capacity from 2002 to 2004. She was chief of staff and general counsel for the Chicago Office of Emergency Management and Communications from July 2004 to February 2005. She was acting first deputy procurement officer for the City of Chicago Department of Procurement Services, February 2005 through October 2005. She's a past president of Chicago Police Board from 2015 to 2018. She was co-chair Chicago Police Accountability Task Force in 2016, and as we all know, she was the mayor for the City of Chicago for a 4-year term. With that background, I would like to introduce Lori E. Lightfoot.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that incredibly warm and welcome reception. Let me first acknowledge and thank the many residents of this fine village who have extended themselves and given me strong words of encouragement. I can tell from this turnout, there's got to be close to 200 people here, that people in this village want something different, want to go in a different direction. And I want to assure you that it's for you that I am here. And I will do my utmost, if this motion is passed, to make sure that I serve you with integrity. I also want to acknowledge and thank the trustees who are here. And thank you for your confidence in me to conduct a thorough and timely and independent investigation into the matters outlined in the motion regarding Mayor Tiffany Henyard and her administration. As someone who's made good governance the cornerstone of my public service career, I recognize maintaining the trust of those you serve and making decisions in their best interest is absolutely essential. The residents of Dolton deserve nothing less than a government that is fully accountable, responsive, transparent, and effective stewards of your precious tax dollars. As a lawyer and former federal prosecutor and mayor, I bring expertise in leading investigations of this kind and understand the complex challenges of governing. I commit to you that I will follow the facts where they lead, without bias, and reserve comments from this night forward until the work is complete. At the conclusion of this investigation, I will provide an assessment of the findings and the recommendations, and I welcome and urge the full cooperation by Mayor Henyard, her staff, all village trustees, vendors, and others who have information relevant to this inquiry. Thank you very much.